Hi, my name is Markus Sablatnig. In this video, we'd like to show you how to use MarvelClient to manage an application's icon, local replica, and replicator page entry. We're going to do this for the user mailbox and an application. Let's see how an administrator would configure these actions. First, we're going to start with an action for the user mailbox. This will involve a lot of small steps that have to be done, but they are very easy. It's just a large number of them. So please follow closely. I'll explain while doing what all those options do. First, we give the action a title. Here we see which database is to be managed. That's already set to user mail file, which gets resolved on each user's machine for each user specifically. Now we can configure where the icon for the application should be put on the desktop. We're saying please enforce the position and the page. And down here we select which page we want to enforce. That's the first page at the position 1,1. We're also going to set it to move the occupying icon to the next free space. In case there already is an icon on position 1,1, we're going to move it to another position. Next, we're going to configure which icon should be topmost. In this case, we want the local icon to be on top. Also, we'd like to add icons for cluster members for our current server. In this case, we don't have cluster members, but in case you have, that's a very nice option to set. And we want to make sure that add local replica icon is set, of course. Now we manage the local replica. In this case, for the user mail file, we'd like to create a full replica if there is no replica yet. In case there is a replica, we just leave it the way it is and replicate in background as usual. Another nice option to set is the completeness check. This makes sure the local icon only gets added and set topmost if the database is fully replicated, or at least almost fully replicated. Another great option is enforce local file path. This makes sure that the location, the local path of the mail file is the same as on server in this case. And it's enforced. So if you move it on the server, it's moved locally. So the directory structures match for server and local. Also, I'd like to set it to high replication priority. It's the mailbox after all. Good. Talking about replication, here are the replicator page settings. We'd like to add it to the replicator page, so we select a predefined template for settings. This template sets very common settings. We enable it, we send receive with smallest first, and we use any available try database server first as replication option. We'd like to add the entry at the beginning and to force to be at the beginning, meaning at every client start, it will be put at the beginning again in case the user moves it. And finally, we'd also like to create a full text index. This action is now done. We can save it and move on to the next example. This I already have prepared. We have the action that manages the MC Analyze database. We use this as a generic example for any application. You use specific database instead of user mail file. You specify where on the server the application resides. We set page and position just as with the user mailbox action. In this case, we use page 2 and position 1, 3 with move occupying set the same. Here we have similar settings again because those work very well. Local replica is stub only in this case, meaning if there is no replica, we only create a replication stub, which is very fast, and then replicate in background. Otherwise, the settings are again very similar. We have set the replication priority to normal in this case instead of high. Replicator page is set with the same settings. Only difference is it's added at the end. And full text index is not turned on for this application. You can see these actions have very many options. That's the case because they're very powerful, but they're still relatively easy to use, and you can just try out what the options do on your leisure. Let's enable the actions. And now let's see what happens from the point of view of the end user. Here we are now at the end user's client. In this case, the applications we want to manage are on the tab Trash. That's because I put them there. We want to move the MC Analyze on this page at this position, and we want to move the mail file to position 1.1. In this case, there already is a database at this position, so that should be moved to the next free one. Let's restart the client. MarvelClient downloads new and updated actions during client start and executes them. So now we're replicating the user mail file because we configured it to be replicated at startup, which goes very fast here because it's a small one. That is not needed for many databases. It's just an option if you like to have a full replica at first start. Now we have the result here. Let's see. The mailbox here is at position 1.1 with local on top as we've configured. The widget catalog has been moved to this free position. And on the second page, we see MC Analysis here. Let's also have a look at the replicator page. We see we have the mailbox here on top. We have MC Analyze here on bottom. Now it's replicating. Replication is done. Now pay attention to the server being topmost right now. We're going to restart the client again. And this time we'll see that the local icon has been put on top, because MarvelClient has detected that the replication was successful, that the database has a complete local replica, so local is on top. In this video, we've shown you how to use MarvelClient icon actions to manage the icons, local replica, and replicator page entry of your applications. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.